everyone! Well, spring has sprung. Isn't this fantastic? Apologies, the ATAS is covered in filth, but I've been using it all through winter actually. And we're just about to come up to 4,000 miles in exactly 2 miles time. And it goes in for its annual service, 25th of April, so about, what's that, 5-6 weeks time now. One of the things I wanted to sort of talk about is DCT really. And about 3, maybe 4 weeks ago, the DCT started to, misbehave is a strong word, but it just started to feel different. So what I mean by that is when pulling away, the revs were extraordinarily low, almost to the point where it felt like it was going to stall. But never actually did, but it really felt like it. Also, when cold, first to second was incredibly clunky, and it almost felt like the chain was over slack, and it was really notable, and even the passenger said, well, there's something wrong with it. So I did a bit of clicking around on the interwebs as you do, and apparently there's the DCT reset for this. I thought that sounds like exactly the symptoms I've got, and to be honest, the symptoms were exactly as everyone described. Once it warms up it's fine, but the first 30 seconds, the first minute, it's really bad. And the process is really simple. If you want me to do a video how to do it, guys, just let me know. It takes about 30 seconds and it's really simple, but essentially all you do, you stop the bike, have the ignition on, turn the key off really quickly, turn it back on again with the D button held down, and then you'll find the screen will read slightly differently. And then you do a certain key press on the gear selector. So I think it's D, D, N, D, N, I think. Definitely do not die now. That's how I remember it. And you'll see a weird little symbol pop up on the dash, and you'll hear the gearbox doing some whirring and clanking just for about 5-10 seconds, and then your neutral light comes back on. At that point, turn the ignition off again, turn it on again, restart it, and your sync's ready to go. It sounds more complicated than it actually is, but it takes about 30 seconds, and apparently every 3,000 to 4,000 miles is perfectly normal. When I booked it in for service, I did mention they said exactly the same. Every 3,000 to 4,000 miles, it takes 30 seconds and it's done again. Really a zero issue, and it is exactly as it came out of the box now. It's cured everything perfectly straight away, and as soon as you pulled away, it felt exactly back to how it did before again. So really successful. Also, I phoned a couple of Honda dealers about it. They said it's not a service that we charge for. If you're having problems getting it done, drop into any Honda dealer and we'll do it for you there and then. It takes 20 seconds, exactly as they say. It's really a non-issue. So if you're struggling to do it, drop into a Honda dealer, just go up to the service counter, say, can you help me reset the DCT? And they'll walk out and do it for you straight there and then. The problem seems to be, or the difficulty seems to be, how fast you turn the ignition off and back on again. If you leave it more than 3 seconds, it goes for a full reset, and you get your Honda splash screen back up, it won't work. You have to turn it off, 1, back on again. As quick as that, you won't get the splash screen, and then it drops into the reset mode, exactly as I was saying. So, purpose of this video, I want to talk about DCT and exactly how it works. And I'm not an engineer, I've been messing around with bikes for 30 odd years, I suppose, 35 odd years now. And I'm not a technician, but I like to think I've got a reasonably good understanding of how things work. So what we'll do now, we'll zoom in on the DCT and we'll go through exactly how it all works and what different parts of it do and exactly the point of DCT. So we'll zoom into the gearbox, guys, and then we'll have a quick talk about that. Nice one. Here we are, guys. We'll talk about the technicalities of the DCT then, and we'll point a few things out and you should be able to see a couple of things. And how old is DCT then? Well, for a number of years now, work has been proceeding in order to bring perfection to the crudely conceived idea of a transmission that would not only supply inverse reactive current for use in unilateral phase detractors, but would also be capable of automatically synchronizing cardinal grammeters. Now, such an instrument is called the turbo encabulator. Now, basically, the only new principle involved is that instead of power being generated by the relative motion of conductors and fluxes, it is produced by the modal interaction of magneto-reluctance and capacitive diractance. The original machine had a base plate of pre-famulated amylite surmounted by a malleable logarithmic casing in such a way that the two spurving bearings were in direct line with the panometric fan. The latter consisted simply of 6 hydrocoptic Marsal vanes, so fitted to the ambificent lunar wane shaft that side fumbling was effectively prevented. The main winding was of the normal Lotus O delta type, placed in a panometric semi-boloid slots of the stator, every 7th conductor being connected by a non-reversible tremie pipe to the differential girdle spring on the up end of the grammeters. The turbo encabulator has now reached a high level of development and is being successfully used in the operation of novatrunnions. Moreover, when a fluorescent score motion is required, it may also be employed in conjunction with a drawn reciprocation dingle arm to reduce sinusoidal repleneration. Well, there you go, everyone. I hope that thoroughly detailed explanation of how DCT works was of use to you, and who knows what's to come in the future. Perhaps there'll be a Gen 3 or a Gen 4, or who really knows. But I have ridden it now, the R1300 GSA with the whatever BMW's version's called. Very, very different. Nice try, BMW. It's your first real attempt, but you aren't quite there yet. DCT is more complicated and expensive, and it's better. I would say low speed control is similar, but the actual shifting itself is in a different league with DCT. Hence the name dual clutch transmission. It's just shifting between clutches rather than gears like the BMW system does. The ASA has just popped back in my head. I'm a little bit surprised, BMW. I expected better than that of you. I really did. Perhaps there'll be some software updates or something, as often there is with BMW. But yeah, not in comparison to DCT, guys. So if you want any more details about how DCT works, let me know and I'll go into more detail than I already have done. But there you go. I hope you enjoyed the video. Enjoy the summer, guys. Take care.